Dear friends, welcome back to Data Analytics Talks. Hope you are doing great today. So recently, I have started exploring DAMA DMBOK2, the data management framework. This is a book produced by the DAMA International to support the data management professional. And I'm sure most of you already know about this book and what the book all contains. You know, the data and information give organizations insight, and those insights help them innovate and reach their strategies or strategic goals. A few companies actively manage data as asset from which they can derive ongoing values. And it does not happen it by accident. They need a lot of planning to derive value out of their data. And that's where the data management plays a big role. And to do the data management, you need a proper framework. And there are many framework, and one of the framework is like provided by the DAMA International. And that is all in the DAMA DMBOK2. And what is the DAMA BOK? It is nothing but data management body of knowledge, the data management body of knowledge. And I think this is a second version of the book. Okay. So in these sessions, basically, I would like to cover some of the highlights. And I also heard about the CDMP examination. CDMP means Certified Data Management Professional, and that is all based on this DAMA DMBOK2 book. Okay. So if everything goes good, I can also try for this certification. So welcome to this session. And if you would like to travel with me, most welcome. And I'm not sure how interesting these topics would be. This would be more theoretical, and we will try to discuss and make it interactive. So welcome to this session. Let's start. The first and foremost thing is to understand what is data management. So here comes data as enterprise asset. Many organizations recognize that their data as very important enterprise asset. So assets are valuable. So managing their asset is very important. So when you hear about data management, we can understand that this is all about managing data as enterprise asset. And secondly, data management is a life cycle management. You may ask, what kind of life cycle management? The data management is the development, execution, and supervision of plans, policies, programs, and practices that deliver, control, protect, and enhance the value of data and information assets throughout their life cycle. Data life cycle means from the creation of data to its destruction or disposal. So data management is all about managing the life cycle of data as asset. Then you may ask about data management professional, which is very, very relevant for each one of us. The data management professional is any person who works in any facet of data management to meet strategic organizational goals. So data management professional is any person who works in any facet of data management. Data management is a life cycle management, and it has various aspects. And any person who works in any aspects of the data management, data life cycle, can be called as a data management professional. Next. So within any organization, data management goals include supporting the information needs of the enterprise and its stakeholders. Secondly, capturing, storing, protecting, and ensuring the integrity of data assets. Thirdly, ensuring the quality of data and information. Fourthly, ensuring the privacy and confidentiality of stakeholders' data. Then fifthly, preventing unauthorized or inappropriate access, manipulation, or use of data and information. And finally, ensuring data can be used effectively to add value to the enterprise. So these are some of the goals of data management. It should support the information needs of the enterprise, should capture and store, protect, and ensure the integrity of the data set. It should ensure the quality of the data and information, ensure the privacy and confidentiality of the stakeholder data, should prevent unauthorized or inappropriate access, manipulation, or use of data and information. And finally, ensuring that data can be used effectively to add value to the enterprise. So next I'm thinking to discuss on some of the basic concepts like data and information, and data as an organizational asset. Then some of the data management principles. So we'll start with data. Often we hear, what is data? We always have some idea about data, but exactly what is data? We always have doubt whether the data is only including digital forms. So what about the other forms of data? We always maintain a lot of documents or records. Are they also data? So by definition, data represent facts about the world. So it's a representation of facts about the world. And data is also understood as information that has been stored in digital form. But there is, based on the new Oxford American Dictionary, defines data as it is facts and statistics collected together for analysis. Even within a single organization, there are often multiple ways of representing the same data. Hence, there is a need for data architecture, modeling, governance, and stewardship, and metadata and data quality management, all of which will help people understand the use of data. So basically, data can be digital or non-digital, right? Then what is information? Data has been called as the raw material for information. That is, processed version of data is information. Is that correct? So information has been called data in context. It implies that data and information are separate things. Data is a form of information and information is a form of data. Why? Because sometimes processed data may be input for another information, right? Data is a form of information and information is a form of data. Both the data and information need to be managed. Both will be of higher quality if they are managed together with users and customer requirement in mind. So we will have a high quality data and information when you consider the users and the requirement of the organization in mind. So now we understand what is data. Now you understand what is information. The next is, why do we call data as an organizational asset? We call asset something valuable, right? You don't call a garbage as asset. We don't call anything which is non-valuable asset, right? So an asset is an economic resource that can be owned or controlled and that holds or produce value. Assets can be converted to money. So if you have a gold, you can sell it and get money. If you have property, you can sell it and get money. If you have spices, you can sell it and get money. So similarly, data is also an asset. So government agencies, education institutions, and non-profit organizations also need high quality data to guide their operational, tactical, and strategic activities. As organizations increasingly dependent on data, the value of data assets can be more clearly established. Just like we learn in economics, the more demand, the more value, right? So based on the demand, we can establish more value to that asset. So now we understand data, information, and data as an information organizational asset. So when do you think a data management will succeed? The data management will succeed when we understand what data the organization has and what might be accomplished with it. Then determining how best to use data asset to reach organization goal. So three things. So we need to understand what data the organization has, what might be accomplished with it, and determine how best to use data asset to reach organization goals. We may need to follow a set of principles that recognize salient features of data management, such as, so data is an asset with unique properties. That's the first thing. The second principle, the value should be expressed in economic terms. Third one is managing data means managing the quality of data. Fourth one is it takes metadata to manage data. Then fifth is it takes planning to manage data. Sixth, data management is cross-functional. It requires a range of skills and expertise. Then data management requires an enterprise perspective. Data management is lifecycle management. The ninth is managing data includes managing the risk associated with the data. Data management requirement must drive information technology decisions. And finally, effective data management requires leadership commitment. So if you look at one by one, data is an asset with unique properties. It has ownership, it has economic value, and it has resource. So what do you mean by ownership? Assets represent ownership that can be eventually turned into cash and cash equivalent. Then comes to economic value. Assets have economic value and can be exchanged or sold. And resource means assets are resources that can be used to generate future economic benefit. So data as an asset with unique properties, we have three dimensions like ownership, economic value, and resources. And second principle, the value should be expressed in economic terms. The economic value of data arises once data are refined into digital intelligence that can be monetized. There is, when you say data value chain, look at the data value chain. You do the collection, store, analyze, and create data intelligence. Then once you have the data intelligence, you can monetize it. You could see examples like selling targeted online advertising like Google, Facebook, then going for operating e-commerce platforms, Amazon, Alibaba, Uber, Airbnb, and so on. Then we can also transforming the traditional goods into rental services, mobile, Rolls-Royce and all. Then you can rent out cloud services, Amazon Web Service, then Tencent, My John Deere, etc. So this is how the economic value of the data, once the data is refined into digital intelligence. So there is a value, and that value should be expressed in economic terms. That's another principle. And the third one, managing data means managing the quality of data. So when you properly manage your data, it becomes accurate, complete, reliable, relevant, and timeliness. So this is another principle that we need to consider while we handle data. Then it takes metadata to manage data. You know, a set of data that describes and gives information about other data. They are more than what you see like an iceberg. So it takes metadata to manage data. So without metadata management, managing data will be really impossible. Then it takes planning to manage data. Data management does not happen overnight. It needs planning based on the business strategy. When you have a data management plan, you may document and you may do the documentation and metadata. Then you may safety, storage and backup. You may do data sharing, then project continuity. You may have ethics and legal compliance. Then you have to do the project integrity and, reusable data and responsibilities and resources. So we need a lot of planning. And that is one of the principles. It takes planning to manage data. We cannot do everything overnight. And of course, data management is cross-functional. It requires a range of skills and expertise. It is cross-functional collaboration between legal, IT, engineering, and other stakeholders, streamlining data mapping, policy development, and data governance. There are different parties, different skills involved in data management. Data architecture, data quality, data warehousing, business intelligence, data standards, data security, data sharing, master data management, and data governance are some of them. So data management cannot be handled with a single team. It has to be cross-functional with multiple skill set. And another important principle of data management that you should see it from an enterprise perspective. So the enterprise perspective involves considering the entire organization holistically, taking into account how changes impact people, process, and technology. An organization has business, has data, application, and technology. Consider everything when you look at the data. Should give an enterprise perspective. That is another principle of data management. Then data management is lifecycle management. Different types of data have different lifecycle characteristics. Data lifecycle management, DLM, is an essential practice for effectively managing data throughout its entire lifecycle, from its creation or acquisition to its eventual destruction. So if you look at these, you can see data lifecycle. It has plan and prepare, collect and process, assure and analyze, preserve and store, publish and share, discover and integrate. So these are some of the stages of data lifecycle. Data lifecycle from the creation of the data to the disposal or destruction of the data. So this is one important principles of data management, the proper data management. Then of course, there are risks associated with data. So we need to consider all the risks associated with data during a data management process. So there are various risks which is affecting your data safety. It could be data virus, it could be software failures, human errors, hacking, cyber attacks, spyware, theft, software error, so system penetration. So a lot of risks are there associated with your data. So, right data management will consider this risk associated with the data. Then data management requirements must drive information technology decisions. So all the information technology decisions are driven by data management requirements, and nothing can be done without the data management requirement in the information technology landscape. Then we have the final one. The effective data management requires leadership commitment. Do you know any organization has succeeded in data management without the leadership commitment? When it comes to leadership commitment, they should be open for change, open for investment, open for adoption. Only then this data management will be a success. So we have a reason, a vision, a dialogue, an education, an empowerment, an evangelism, and iteration. So that is how a data management will succeed in an organization. So finally, you can put it together. Data is an asset with unique properties. The value should be expressed in economic terms. Managing data means managing the quality of data. It takes metadata to manage data. It takes planning to manage data. Data management is a cross-functional. It requires a range of skills and expertise. Data management requires an enterprise perspective. Data management is lifecycle management. Managing data includes managing the risk associated with the data, and data management requirement must drive information technology decisions. And finally, effective data management requires leadership commitment. And the next section, we will try to see the data management challenges that normally the organization face. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope this is really useful. I would like to hear your comments and feedbacks and suggestions. Please do drop your comments in the comment box. If you would like to know about any other topics on data analytics, let me know. I can try to make it for you. Thank you. See you soon.